What's up, everybody? We are back. John Delarose here. Delarose.com. That's DELARROZ.com. And today we are going to go over the end of the 32 series by Ditko. This was his later work, which he did from 2008 all the way up to 2018, when unfortunately Mr. Ditko passed away. And he produced 26 issues of content himself, with Robin Snyder publishing it, and we'll continue on with the series here. This is the final volume, so this contains 6 issues, like all of them do. It contains issue 22, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then Down Memory Lane, which is kind of their retrospective that came out at the very end. And it's called Curtain because this is really the end of things. Now, Ditko developed several different characters in his later life. The Madman, the Outline, I believe this is the P Mask mentioned in here, and there's several others also. So the Madman is like this gangster story, and there's this crazed kind of hero going after everybody and scaring the mob. And it's really developed into a sort of ongoing thing where the Madman is working to start taking everybody down. And you'll see over the course of this, I guess, that the story really didn't get complete. He's going, can't stop now at the end of this, and you see the interesting line work he does that really is very different than everything else. You've got the big spots on the hands and the stars, the the stubble, the mouth, very bizarre design. But he didn't finish it, and I guess at the end of it, Ditko, there's a whole list of like correspondences between Robin Snyder and Ditko going on in here, and he says that his drawing hand is kind of starting to give out because of old age at this point. And unfortunately, we do start to see this a little bit in this book. Some the lines as we get further into this get a little less tight, get a little less recognizable of what he's trying to draw. You really have to kind of squint and kind of pay attention to things at some points. And it's sad, but that is unfortunately what happens. Our motor skills do give out, and it's just breaks my heart a little bit. Breaks my heart. The P Mask is a really fun one. Basically, somebody wants something, and this lady has this like magical mask store, and they get what they want, but there's always a cost. So it's kind of a warning not to take the ticket, not to take the ticket, which I really like. I think that's a very good moral for people. And usually there's 1 or 2 or maybe 3 major stories of superhero stuff or mob stuff or whatever you want to call it, and then it starts going into these little philosophy pages, and those are actually my favorite parts of these books here, because you get to really get an insight into what Ditko's thinking. The Outline is another character that's been recurring through this, and it's kind of a guy who talks on people's shoulders and always is encouraging them or discouraging them from different crimes and trying to figure things out and trying to resolve things in a different manner. And there's always a twist with these Outline stories that are very interesting, and I really like them. Now, the hero is just Ditko showing heroic action, and there's not a lot of dialogue in these compared to a lot of them. It's just classic style fist fighting, and the hero's of course always fighting a villain and takes him down at the end. Very, very standard. There's no secret identity. You don't ever get into the hero's identity or anything like that. It's just very straightforward. So several different characters in here. Miss Eerie is another one. She's a private investigator, kind of working against a mob tactic thing also. I gotta say, it's my least favorite, just for a couple reasons. One, I like I said, I like the stuff that has a little deeper of a message, I feel like. But I also don't really love Ditko's drawing of women for the most part. He doesn't, he doesn't draw pretty women. I know she's meant to have a grotesque kind of weird face, being Miss Eerie, but it's hard to look at after a while. Not gonna lie. Oh man. So there's this one here is the Cape, and I love the Cape. The Cape takes people in a situation where they're about to go wrong, and it brings them into an alternate dimension of reality where they either see what's going on, or if they don't, they get what's due to them. So very, very, very nice through here. The Distorter's an interesting one. You see how Ditko likes to use lines to kind of show that everything's kind of encompassed in darkness and trouble. And so, you know, the thematic is that everything in this sort of realm is going to be like that. And it's going to come out distorted, hence the Distorter. This was a neat one. There's a couple new ideas in this one, which is different. I guess volumes 3 and 4 didn't have as many new ideas as like volumes 1 and 2 did. There's a lot of repetition from what I saw in those. But this one has some different stuff. This one's got a you dialogue it story, which is cute. I guess you're supposed to just come up with your own dialogue in your head as to what's going on in the story. Very fun. Can't fail plan is a different one. Of course it does fail. And what happens when the plan fails that can't fail? You blame somebody else. That's what happens. It's a little moral of the story there also. And you start to get a little bit more on the essays here, which is very fun. And I love the Ditko essays. Again, it's a little insight into him, and here's some of his more philosophical stuff. Here we are, the exclamation question mark. Who's another hero who goes after mobs, very similar to the way the hero does. I'm not sure what this is. It's the ... and it's just this dotted weird character, and he fights crime too. Not really super developed compared to some of the others. I wasn't exactly sure what he was aiming for on that one, which is okay. You know, you're not supposed to say that on the internet. You're never supposed to say, I don't really get what was going on. You're always supposed to have an opinion. And my opinion's, I didn't quite understand that one. That's all it is. The outline, again, shows back up. He likes to draw the outline quite a bit, you could tell. And, oh yeah, this is a fun one of the cape. I really enjoyed this because a lot of the drawings are really unrefined, and you don't get much of a like sense of place in here. But this one actually has this beautiful estate that's drawn. I don't know where he got this reference, but very neat background, and this guy is going in to rob it, and there's a nice twist on this one also. Very fun stuff. Conform, yeah, love the messages. He's right. The world does try to push you to conform. Back to the Madman. I think this is the last Madman piece, and this is where it really ends, just ends and doesn't finish here. And so it's kind of sad we didn't get the conclusion to this storyline. I don't know, you know, again, I guess his drawing hand was not what it used to be, and so he didn't feel like he could do justice to it at that point. And, you know, it's just a little bit of a shame. But we start to see like I said, the lines get a little less detailed at this point. They get a little less filled in. They get a little sloppier, unfortunately. I do like, again, this stuff, the choices, the rational animal stuff. Really good right through here. This is some of his finest. And again, they never learn much more just messages that we get to hear about. And this is an interesting thing. What I like is that Ditko doesn't give in to nihilism. Even when he sees the darkness and he sees it overcoming the world and all that irrational awfulness, he always does just show that there's a way forward, and you can make the choice to be the hero yourself. And I like that. I love seeing him stomp out evil. Excellent. Philosophy versus no or anti-philosophy. Yeah, I always see a lot of people talk about, you know, comics need to be apolitical and aphilosophical and just fun. But Ditko rejects that idea. And this is it, the final one. 32 pages of all new art, number 26. We get the final Miss Eerie story. And as I said, you know, you can compare just the line work compared to, you know, the earlier volumes of this. And he put a lot more into the Miss Eerie stuff before that just, like, isn't quite as detailed at this point. And you know, we have another one where this one ends kind of odd. There's a very I guess different twist on things. So he's trying to experiment at the end of things. I'm not sure it 100% worked out through this one. But again, you know, I mean, even I know he's meant to look like a roughed up villain who's captured, but you know, it's difficult to actually see a lot of what's going on here, and that's what I see kind of in the last issue, unfortunately. This one's another new concept, the fantasy, but again, I just can't exactly tell what's going on in a lot of these panels. It's a little rough. So, I mean, here you get something pretty good. You get the hand with the gun. That's pretty well detailed here, but yeah, it's just sad to see the end. It really is. It's always sad to get to the end of anything that you love, and this is the end of a beautiful career and a beautiful life. Who I really respect. I really like this this concept here, viewpoints, going back to two different viewpoints of each other. And it's been a while since we've seen like the pained close-ups of Ditko eyes. You don't get that a lot in this volume, but that's some of his stuff he's known for right there. And again, just the lines are a little less detailed than they used to be. A couple more random things. I don't know. Arg is another new concept. I wasn't quite sure what the point of that one was either, not gonna lie. We get a final outline story, then we get a final new concept, Logan the Loser, who, they're looking for help for some sort of mob thing, and Logan kind of doesn't comply. So they go to jail. He doesn't. And, of course, they brand him a loser. Oh, well. And that's the last Ditko story we really get in here. Now, it's not the last piece of Ditko art that I've seen. There's a new comic out, The Mysterious Traveler, that they just put out, and there was some new art in there, which was a surprise to me. I thought it was going to all be reprints. But, for the bulk of things, for full issues of just new content, this is going to be it for the Ditko. And the Down Memory Lane has some neat stuff. You get a couple essays. You get this kind of sketches here. The Down Memory Lane talk about Snyder and how this all came about. We get the Toyland story, which started off at the beginning of this because it bears repeating. And we get these correspondences, and this was kind of neat. I wish they were a little more formatted like, from Snyder to Ditko, but you can figure it out over the course of things just by how they talk. But it is really neat to see this stuff. Get a couple extra philosophical drawings through this also. The United Nobodies, that's really fun. I Inquire, another theme he liked to talk about. And that's it. When will we catch up? And this just goes and talks about Aristotle once more. And we get some reactions to this, some letters from fans. A whole list of everything, of all the different characters that were in here. 32 series chronology at the end. And that's it. That is the end of our Ditko journey. The Life of Steve Ditko by Robin Snyder. Toast. And a fan essay about Mr. Ditko. That's it. So this is it. This is the end. I'm sad to see the end of this. This is his whole late work from 2008 to 2018. 26 issues, pretty good. That's a great amount of output for an artist at that age, and we're lucky to have gotten it. So I'm excited. I've still got a lot to go for the independent stuff, because I can go back prior to that. I haven't read all the Ditko packages from the 90s or anything like that. But I read these first, mostly because they're fast, and because I just want to see the thoughts kind of towards the end of his life and what he was really doing there. And I'm glad that these are compiled, because they were originally different issues into these thicker volumes like this. It's nice to look at and nice to read. So very sad, but Ditko wouldn't want us to be sad. Sad's an irrational emotion. So be a rational man. Enjoy books and enjoy fun. We'll see you on the flip side. Leave a comment down below what you think. I'd love to hear from fellow Ditko fans and fellow people who are on this comic journey. Hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll be back soon.